Did you give me 4 stars?
I
Did
gave you all the stars. We don't give stars, but
Okay.
if there were, you'd get every
All of
single
it.
one I had.
Good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Next Level Charlie is the perfect place to start. Like, it's literally like opening up a storybook and reading the introduction. So I just want to hear you kind of, your take on that, how that came about, writing an intro track.
Well, Next Level Charlie, I guess, is like the only song where I actually like wasn't just thinking about myself. It's a song I wrote for the Angels. Like, when I was writing it, before I started writing it, I knew, I was like, this song will be, I want this to be a song for my fans, like about them like getting ready to go out to like one of my shows, you know?
Yeah.
Or like to a party. But I envisioned it was like I was there, or maybe we're like all going out together. It's that like song that you put on when you're like going to the club, or you're going to the house party, or you're like getting
The pregame.
like the pregame. Yeah.
You're in the group chat, like,
I'm in
with
the
them,
group
yeah.
chat. Yeah. So that song is really about that, and I just wanted to capture that kind of like essence of that excitement that you sometimes have before a night out. So that's how that idea came about.
There's 2 kind of conflicting sounds on the record. I feel like there's this kind of very bass heavy, clicky, glitch pop sound, but then there's also the heavy synth rising kind of feeling. So talk to me about, I guess, getting Chris to work on Gone. Like, what was that like?
Well, Chris and I knew we wanted to do something together, and we'd been kind of talking back and forth about music, but also just about like life, like getting to know each other as people, you know. And I just felt immediately so comfortable around her, and so like, I don't know, just within like a day of just like texting with her, I was like, this person is my friend. Like, it was really sweet and cool. I just felt this immediate like kinship with her. And so when I was in Stockholm at the beginning of the year, I was writing ideas for the album, and honestly I had like the worst writer's block, and so did the people I was working with. Like, we literally made like maybe like 10 unfinished, like really bad songs. Like, we could not write a good song. They were all so bad. And then we came up with this rough idea for Gone, and we were like, wait, this is actually good. Like, let's not ruin it. Like, we can't ruin it. So
Everyone take a step back.
yeah, everyone take a step back. Like, because we couldn't figure out a chorus. So I was like, okay, let's not like push this to the point where we like hate the song because we can't figure out the chorus. So I was like, I'm gonna send it to Chris. I feel like she would like understand this beat and she would connect with it. And so I sent it with her, and like I sent it to her, and like 15 minutes later she sent me back this chorus idea with like the melody and the lyrics, and I was like, fuck, this is so good. And that's how it began, really. And then we kind of just like back and forth about the you know, the lyrics and how to finish the song, and that's how it happened.
And the dance breakdown at the end.
Yes.
Just tell me, how did that come about?
Well, so we wrote the song, and then I sent it to HAIJI and Nomac, and I was like, okay, do you like this song? Do your thing with it. Like, I want it to elevate even more. And then they sent it back to me, and I remember I was in LA. I think they were in LA too. They sent it back to me, and it was like 3 a.m. and I was in my house, and I put it on in my headphones, and I must have listened to that song until like 4:30 in the morning, just on repeat, like over and over and over again, listening to that dance break. And I was like, this is HAIJI's best production, like 100%, no doubt.
Cross you out. I wanted to know about the Sky, kind of getting Sky. Were you in contact, since my editor loves the VMAG cover? Were you in contact that whole time in between that, or was this a project that you recently?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in contact like on and off, you know. I knew Sky before the V shoot that we did too. We kind of knew each other through MySpace, and then we were working with like a lot of the same people on my album True Romance and her album Nighttime My Time. There was a lot of crossovers with our collaborators, and then the V thing happened, and then she came to a house party at my house a while ago, and we kind of caught up, and we've always just been like, you know, aware and around
in the
each
same
other,
pop
and
world.
yeah, totally. And I've known each other, and I've always really respected what she's doing. And there was a point where we were kind of like talking about writing this like tattoo-esque song, and it never happened. So when I had the initial idea for Cross You Out, it kind of felt to me like something that could have been on either Nighttime, My Time or True Romance. Like that kind of fuzzy, warm bass sound, that like kind of really like heavy weight emotion. Like it kind of felt like something that both of us could relate to. So I sent it to her and she was into it, and she came to the studio in LA to record her part. I actually wasn't there when she did, you know, do her writing and stuff. And it was one of the first collaborations that I worked on for the album. And she was kind of in the middle of like releasing her song Downhill Lullaby, and like, you know, in her process. So there was like a bit of silence for a while, and I was like, oh no, like, does she not like it? Like, I fucked up. Like, I can't believe, you know, like, because I think it's like kind of rare to like, Sky, she doesn't do a lot of features. I mean,
she's very selective.
She's very selective. So I was immediately just so honored that she wanted to do something with me, because it felt just like really special. And she's a very special artist with a really like unique and kind of particular vision. So the fact that I'd like got that far, I was like, oh my God, I hope this doesn't go away. Like, I hope she doesn't change her mind, because I think she's so good and like whatever. And then she came back and she was like, I love it, like, let's go, let's do it. And I was like, oh, thank God, amazing. And then we shot the artwork, and then it all just kind of flowed, and it was great.
Can we talk about 1999? I mean, it's been out now for almost a year. Like, I think we're coming up on a year.
Yes. So I had the idea for the music video for that song first.
Okay.
So I needed a song to go with. I was like, I want to do a video where I play lots of different characters from the 90s. And then I was like, I need a song. So I was like, cool, let's do something themed around 1999. And then it all just sort of flowed. I was working with Oscar Holter and Noonie Bao, who are two people I love. I really collaborate with Noonie a lot all the time. We were working in LA at Max Martin's like compound studio or whatever. So it kind of felt like weirdly fitting to be writing a song about like 1999 in like Max Martin's like studio house, because he's like, I mean, he's still like pop king, but in the, you know, the 90s was his, I feel like his like, you know, fucking era, like Britney, Backstreet Boys, like just constant. And so we wrote this song, and actually Oscar like called him and played it to him, and he was the person who came up with the idea, saying like, you should say, I just want to go back, sing Hit Me Baby One More Time, which is really funny because like he came up with that lyric, he wrote Hit Me Baby One More Time, and it also came out in 1999. So he is like the king of like how meta, like amazing. So that it was kind of written all there. And then I sent it to Troy and was like, do you want to jump on a verse? Like, you need to write your bridge. And he did that. We weren't in the room together. He did that in LA whilst I was in Miami. And that's kind of how the song came together.
And next, Click.
Is it your favorite? That song started in New York, actually. What's funny about that song is it's like crack Charli. It's like Charli on crack, next level, like kind of like fucking burn your house down, because it's like me, it's AG, it's Umru, Dylan Brady, Nomak, Kim, Tommy. It's like all of these people who are all really extra. Like we're all like not necessarily in our personality. I mean, me, Kim, and Tommy definitely, but like in the work that we make, it's like all 7 of us, I think, 7, 8 of us are like when we make our work, it's like no sacrifices, like don't care about the consequences, like just guns blazing, like so this song is like fucking mad. It's like full mania, and I think fans like knew that it would be because of the production credits and the artists who are on it. So I think this might be like Vroom Vroom Part 2, possibly. It feels like it could be going that way. I'm
excited to see the live show
you
reaction.
know, right? Yeah, I feel like it's gonna really like go off. So yeah, I started that song in New York at Umru's apartment, which was funny because we were recording at like midnight and he has this sound curfew. So because he lives in like an apartment building or whatever, so he can't play his speakers really loud. So we were recording this like really, really hype song, like super quietly on like iPhone headphones, like really, really quietly. So I couldn't be hype. I was like really, really quiet. And so it was like really confusing.
Like, get what you want, like
totally, like super quiet. And then I took it to LA, I did a verse, and I was like, Kim, hey, like, what's up? You want to do this thing? She was like, yes, let's go. And she sent me back her verse, and I was like, oh my God, I'm embarrassing on this song because her verse is so good. And I sent it to Tommy as well, and then Tommy was like, oh, you know, I'm in Estonia, I'm doing so much stuff. I was like, just do the fucking verse, man. And it took him a while because he was like doing a whole like exhibition with Rick Owens, because that's his, you know, Tommy's on like another level. He's always like, oh, I'm like shooting like these crazy videos, I'm like I'm doing like a full like collab with Rick Owens in a museum in Tallinn. Like I don't know, he's like on some other shit. So it took me a second to get him, and then he came and his verse was amazing. And I was like, fuck, I'm like bombing on this song right now so hard. So then I redid my verse and I sent it back to them, and they were like, oh, you changed your verse? I was like, yeah, of course I did, because I was being like crucified by them. But Kim's verse, I don't know, she just really like, she went there, like it's like that verse, like not to compare them directly because obviously they're hugely different artists. These are like hugely different songs doing like hugely different things. So I don't want to have any like whatever, you know, people being like, you saying she's like this person, like they're very different. But the feeling that I got from Kim's verse when I listened to it was like the feeling of when I listened to like Nicki Minaj's verse on Monster.
I was
like,
I didn't want to insult, like, because like Kanye, like, how everyone was like, Monster
totally,
is,
that's
like,
the exact feeling I got. I was like, she's killing me right now, but I don't care.
Like, I have to go back in.
Like, she's so, like, I mean, still, you know, like, that's the feeling I got. They're very different verses, very different artists. I can't stress that enough. But like that level of like hype and energy.
I think it's a really defining 60 seconds or so.
I agree. I agree. I think it's like really, really like Kim fucking came through. Fuck's sake. Fuck her. She really killed me. Yeah.
Now that we've talked about my favorite song, I want to talk about my other favorite song.
I thought you were about to be like, I want to talk about my least favorite song.
Yeah, let's get into it. You know, no, my other favorite song, Warm, with HAIM.
Oh, cool.
I mean, to me, it does sound very in conversation, not similar, but in conversation with Two Time.
Yes,
and there's a lot of like similarity, just vibe. Like, so I want to hear kind of about where that inspiration came from.
Well, I reference Two Time in it, in the lyrics. I say, I don't even remember. I say Two Time in the song because I knew that would get that comparison. Yeah. And also, it was funny, like, YAEJI had sent me that beat, like, actually a long time ago, when I was on tour, way before we even thought about getting in the studio together. And so I'd been listening to it, and he'd done, like, a melody over it. I love it when YAEJI sings. It's so, like, beautiful. So he was just kind of, like, singing melodies, and I put lyrics to it, like, over time. And then, like, Two Time came out, and I was like, cool, like, this is really, it's like, it's similar, and I love the 1975 so much, so it was kind of cool, and I was like, I have to like reference this, because so it was cool. I really love that band so much. But yeah, the song is just about like a player, you know.
I love it.
Goodbye. Yeah.
Thoughts is one of the ones that, you know, everyone was wondering about, like, what's it going to sound like from the, you know, from the songs on the album that haven't been released. Can you just talk to me about, like, that intimacy that's really embedded within that? Yeah,
well, I think that was definitely one of the most spontaneously recorded songs. Like, we recorded that at Flume Studio in LA, and it was at a point where I felt like I was being pulled in like a million different directions. All I wanted to do is record, but I was getting asked to like go to a different country, like do this, do that, do a million things. I was partying a lot. I was in LA a lot. I was feeling like my anxiety a lot. I was like looking around me and seeing all of these friends who are true friends in real life, but like when I'm feeling low and depressed, I'm like, wait, like you're like my friend, but like I'm working with you, like, are you really my friend? Like, you're on the payroll, like, what? But I've, like, known these people since I was 11. But I was like, am I this cliche? Am I, like, living in Hollywood in the hills with, like, a load of people who I'm fucking paying? And it's, like, this, like, I really felt that for a second. And I was so deep in that. And so I literally got off this phone call and HAIJI was playing these, like, 4 chords on repeat. And I was like, okay, I have it. And this sounds, like, really cheesy, but I was like, just let me get out of the microphone, like, and then I just like sang all this shit, and it like really just happened. It just like actually happened like that. And I do a lot of freestyling, but I don't do a lot of like freestyling where the lyrics actually come at the same time. But pretty much like most of the lyrics came within that first like vocal take. Gotcha. So yeah, that song feels very like immediate and personal to me.
Blame It On Your Love. It's a track 10. The original I read, like
yes,
that's the
correct.
original track 10.
Correct.
Can you tell us something? I mean, there's been a lot of press about it. Can you tell us something we might not know about the making of that track? If you can think of anything.
The thing is, you know everything.
Really?
You know everything. Maybe one thing people don't know, I don't know, it's been around for fucking ever in my life. Like, that song has been around for like 4 or 5 years in my life. It was supposed to be on Pop 2 in its like original format, but I was just like, it doesn't feel right, so I got HAIJI to make a version, and then I like re-sang it, and the song didn't feel right until Lizzo was on it. That's all I can tell you about it. Yeah. Short and sweet.
White Mercedes. What about a white Mercedes catapulted, or was it just a random meta? You can be honest with me.
It was random. It was,
I'm like trying to be like, what?
No. It was just, obviously I like cars, and like the idea of this song is about somebody like moving too fast through, like me moving too fast and burning through this relationship and kind of throwing it all away and like coming back to it and being this like fucking annoying, hectic person. And cars are fast and I move fast, so I was like, boom, another car moment, here we come. So that's how I got to White Mercedes.
Vroom vroom, let's ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Silver Cross, why did you expect it to be a fan favorite? I saw you said that in a little question and answer one time.
I played it to friends and they were really like amped about Silver Cross. They were like, HAIJI was really amped about it, and he often sort of like has the same kind of taste as the fans have. So HAIJI was really like believed in it. Like a couple of my other friends, they were like, this is our favorite. And I don't know, it just feels like a really like emotional club banger. I think people think it's about like love, but it's actually about taking like a friend out for a night out when they need to like forget someone or something, like when your friend is really sad and you need to just like be there for them and like take them out and like escape with them and like make them forget their troubles. Like that's actually what Silver Cross is about. It's about friendship and like helping your friend when they need you most.
And I Don't Want to Know is next. Definitely, I think more intimate than Thoughts, maybe. I'm not sure. Can you talk, like, it's a very emotional song, the most probably.
I Don't Want to Know, that's the oldest song that's on the album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So HAIJI and I, about 2, maybe 3 years ago, we decided, I texted him and I was like, hey, let's try and make an album in a day. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, like tomorrow I'll just come over and we'll just try and make like an album in like 24 hours. So I went to his studio and we made this like 9-track album from like noon till like 6 a.m. the next day. And the last song that we made was I Don't Want to Know. At like literally, we probably started recording at like 5 a.m. And like a lot of the vocals they're all those vocals. That's why my voice is, I mean, it's high, but my voice is like, ah! And I'm like, we're like delirious. And we wrote it so fast. It was like really quick. We were so tired. I think what's funny is we'd written I Got It like right before it. Like, so
what a transition.
Yeah, so I Got It and I Don't Want to Know were 2 songs from this album in a day like experiment that we did. It was cool.
Gotcha. Official, so like pulsating, beautiful.
Official is the song I'm least confident talking about.
Oh,
because
okay.
I just feel nervous about it, probably because it's the most, like, it's the biggest leap for me, I think, as an artist. Like, I don't think I've ever done a song like Official before, and I was really nervous about, I thought people would hate it. I was like, HAIJI, we cannot put this on the album. People are not going to like this song. People are going to be like, why is she doing that? And he really fought for it. So you have HAIJI Cook to thank for this song being on the album. He really, thanks HAIJI.
Yeah.
He really pushed me to put it on there, and it was, it's his doing that it's on there. I was so nervous. I was just like, I feel like people are going to, like, they're not going to want this from me. I don't know, but it feels like people do want that, like, emotion from me. So, yeah.
That's great. Shake It.
I think
what can we...
Another fan favorite, it seems. It feels like Official and Shake It are the fan favorites.
Shake It, for some reason, I saw you said, like, I was reading while we were in the lobby, like, the Reddit AMA, and you said about Shake It, like, being like, I Got It Part 2 or something like that. It really doesn't feel like that in a way, because it feels like something entirely new. Like, because it really does feel like each person is doing their own song and coming together under this umbrella.
Yeah,
so.
Totally. I mean, I think I wanted I Got It Part 2 in the sense that I wanted, like, Cupcake, Brooke, Pablo on a track,
crew,
but then I wanted another person as well, so that's where Big Frida came into the mix. But with Shake It, we wanted to kind of do a song where I wasn't, like, really on it. On the album, because we just thought it'd be funny, because, like, who puts a song on their album that they're not really on? Like, no one. It's so stupid. Like, why would you do that? But we were like, let's do that. That sounds like a dumb enough idea for me to do. And also, I really love these artists, and I wanted them to have their moment to shine, like, because I could never do what they do. Like, I could never go as hard as Big Frida or Cupcake or Brooke.
Cupcake's Whisperverse. Whisper Pop is a new...
I know. It's so... She's fucking undeniable. So, yeah, I just wanted this song for them, and also it was fun for me to become this kind of, like, machine. Like, it's not even really a chorus, it's just this weird, like, pulse that's through the song, you know?
The heartbeat, kind of, February 2017, it feels untraditional.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so the song, it was funny, CLAIRO and I actually spent like 4 days making a load of songs together in LA, and we ended up using none of them, and we ended up writing this song apart, but we have like 4 or 5 songs now that are just kind of half done, floating around. So we knew we wanted to do something together, and I've been such a fan of YAEJI for a really long time, and I think they vaguely knew each other, and it just sort of made sense for us to do something together. So I put us on like a group chat, or maybe I text them separately. I was like, let's do this thing. Like, I'm gonna gather some ideas. So I made this initial thing, and then CLAIRO like sang over it, and YAEJI sang over it, and we had all the pieces, and we just needed to arrange it in the right way. And the way it does definitely leave people wanting more. It's like one of the shortest songs, no parts repeat, really. So it definitely doesn't have a traditional song structure, but they're both really open-minded and free in the way they make their own music, so it didn't really feel like it mattered. And
collage more.
Yeah, totally. And YAEJI's part right at the end is like, for me, one of the most intimate moments on the album. It really like sucks me in, and I feel really close to her, and yeah, I think it's really beautiful, so I'm happy that song happened.
And our last song, 2099.
Well, I mean, I think the outro of the song is so like over the top and aggressive, and it just really kind of feels like you're like taking off into space at the end. So yes, and also because this whole campaign started with 1999, it felt like kind of poetic, I suppose, to end on 2099, like with TROYE, like going to the future, different year. I guess it's like the most conceptually type of decision I have made, which is kind of funny because I don't really do that. But yeah, it's also, you can like read into it as much as you want, but also if you don't want to, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's one of them.
I love it. Well, that's track by track.
Great.
I think,
Cool.
we're good. Yeah.
Subscribe to Paper Magazine.
They're great. Don't miss it. Do it right now.